Hi, it's good to meet you. I'm Jeffrey, and I am not a full time creative, which I think is where most of us are at. I work during the day as a data scientist in New York City, but outside of that, I try to find every opportunity I can to make art. I've been trying to make a more fulfilling life for myself, and the best answer I have so far is just to be constantly creative. So, here are 5 tips to lead a creative life. All right, tip number 1, you can only cook what's in the kitchen, meaning you can only generate as good as ideas as you consume. It's going out and meaningfully consuming books and stories and movies that you really like, but not just that, actually going out and experiencing life deeply. I think when you have these deep experiences, that's the well that you pull from when you go and sit down and create. Tip number 2, capture ideas whenever they come. My brain is terrible at storing ideas, but it's pretty good at generating them. So, whatever is the most convenient way, it's good not to overcomplicate this. Just write down ideas whenever they come. As you go throughout, you'll find that you'll come out with like a pretty good wealth of things that you want to work on. Tip number 3, work on ideas as soon as they arrive. It's a really big superpower to work in tandem with inspiration, and it's kind of scary how fleeting that can be. Oftentimes, I'll generate my ideas, write them down, and when I come back to them after a long period of time, I find that the magic just isn't there anymore. So execute when you can. When you start, it's scary because it feels like your vision, the vision that you have in your head, just isn't as powerful because you might not be at the right skill level yet or have the right equipment. But every single time you put time into getting better, you get a little bit closer to that vision in your head. Tip number 4, prioritize creative time every single week. This has been a really big one for me because life is busy. There's so many other things you need to do. Maybe you have a job to balance, you have other goals, you have family, and you have friends that you want to be with. But it's important to have this space for you to just to make things. When you sit down, maybe you won't have an idea, but just sitting down and intentionally thinking to create, you act as a rod, a lightning rod for ideas to come to you. And if you've been capturing ideas throughout your time, you'll find that this is what consistently gives you time to act on those ideas. Tip number 5, teach whenever you can. This doesn't need to be super formal, but I find that the best people to learn from are often just a few steps ahead of you. They know what it feels like to be you because they were just you. I feel like there's been a generational itch to be creative because we're looking for more and more meaning outside of just what we do in our day jobs. And for me and many others, that's been making things, being creative. When you go out and teach others, even if you don't feel super qualified, it solidifies what you know, but it also raises the people around you. So go out and teach. If you'd love to see more of my art, you can find it on Instagram at @byjeffreysun. But other than that, thank you to B&H for having me, and I hope you create something meaningful this week. Peace.